Hello and welcome to this video. Today we're going to have a look at a product called Nibble by a company called circuitmess. They're based in Europe and make kits aimed at learning for younger people. So I have opened this, however the first thing that comes out of here is this Chinese mains adapter. Now I was, this is dangerous. There's no fuse. This pin here has got insulation on it, which means there'll be no earth. However, let's put that to one side and we will continue by having a look at the box. Very nice, aged at a 9+. We would expect to see a European power adapter in there. However, when we open this product, very nice, very nice, and I'm going to do a build on this as well. For me, we've got a USA North American style power adapter, so I'm going to put this to one side and we're going to have a look at the power adapter and the concerns around it and why this product could potentially electrocute and kill your child. I'm going to start off with this adapter here. In the UK, when we look at a UK 13 amp plug, our earth pin has no insulation on, and our phase and neutral, live and neutral, whatever you want to call it, hot and cold, have some insulation on. This stops accidentally touching the pins when you plug in. Now the problem is, when we plug this in, our earth connector is right at the top here, so by the time the plug's gone in all the way, the insulated part is on the earth. Now you might say, well, the adapter you're using is only 2 pin, but what if we were to use something else with this? But more worryingly is this, that is connected and it's live. And I'm going to ask my daughter to give me her hand here and push her fingers in and touch that connector there. Now as you can see, this is an 11-year-old child. This is designed for 9+, has been able there to receive an electric shock. And I'm going to verify this here by use of a multimeter, which I'm going to touch onto these pins here, and there you go, look, there you go, phase and neutral. And even me, I can touch those connectors there. So this setup here allows the potential for a 240 volt electric shock to be received by a child. A correct adapter, if it was a proper European one as shown, would have insulated pins, and by the time it's made a connection you can't touch it. Now this adapter actually here, we tried to plug an insulated, a proper European lead in, it's all over the shop, it's ridiculous. The other problem is there's no fuse here. In the United Kingdom our sockets are protected by a 32 amp fuse. When we have an adapter like this to go to a product that is designed for use on a 16 amp circuit, we always have a fuse. Any of our plugs that we pick up have a fuse. See, this one's got a 10 amp fuse in it, so that protects anything downstream of there. So this adapter here is really just a bad thing to use, both from the point of view of electrocution and safety. Now, I emailed these guys and they came back to me and said that it was okay. Now, I pointed this out and this was the email I got back. Thank you for your support. of our work, and so you are dissatisfied with the equipment supply. The power adapter was sent to you as both 120 and 220 compatible. Quality of this is absolutely lacking. You know, this is gonna just give up. It's junk. Here is an adapter, a 2 amp adapter provided by another company of a similar style, Kano, proper 13 amp plug on it. Really nice, well built. None of this export only travel adapter. This is just dangerous. This is the sort of thing that catches fire. They say here that that there is a fuse inside the supply that protects it. So you know what, let's find out what's inside here. I have to say, people out there in circuitmess, what fuse? There is no fuse inside this 120 volt adapter that's got the pins on for the United States. I will also point out that this spacing here is not wide enough for UK and European regulations. This adapter may be perfectly acceptable for use in the United States, but not in the UK or even in Europe. And there is no fuse. Look, people, no fuse. Okay, so we've determined that they are supplying, circuitmess are supplying this with a dangerous adapter. Then we'll have the quality of this thing, and a dangerous power supply. So the result of that power supply, oh wow, look at this. This they're asking us to protect with a 32 amp fuse. This stuff would just melt, you know. So there we go. They claim that there was a fuse in there. That is their email. Okay, so we've thrown that power supply away. So when we look at the rest of the kit, we get a creator's booklet, which is a little information on how it works. Information on the video games. Yeah, it is really cool what's in the box. You know, even here, look, this shows a European adapter. That would be far safer because we can use that in both shaver outlets, and we have shaver adapters which have a 2 amp plug-in, a 2 amp fusing, which would make that really safe and no problems at all. Got soldering iron, stand, etc. So, you know, yeah, tells us about how to set the soldering iron up. Don't touch the hot bits. There's no real build instructions. I kind of feel to a point it might be self-explanatory. That's the lead for the soldering iron, batteries, a little bit of mop for your iron, a supply cable, the actual soldering iron. Let's have a little look at this, if I can get the screwdriver out. A little stand for the soldering, very basic, but you know, it doesn't need to be over fancy. Really cool little soldering iron. Cover, a bag with buttons in, a battery holder, screen, the case, and the main board, which is really quite cool. I've got a Wi-Fi receiver on here. I assume that's processor memory. And put your fuse in, power switch, buttons. Even though there's no instructions, I kind of feel it's kind of self-explanatory how it goes together. And I will do a build on it in a minute. The actual kit itself I really like. It's nice, it's cool. Costs a few quid, but you know, that's by the by. I mean, these look really cool. You know, you've got a self-driving car, a smartwatch, the DJ thing, radios, a little cold game. You know, really impressed. Even the Ringo. I'd love to mess with a few more of these. Obviously I'm self-funding, so I can't afford to buy lots of them, but I'm going to build this and have a play with it. Okay, so we're going to build the circuitmess Nibble. Comes with a kit of parts. As I've discussed, the power adapter is a bit of an issue. I'm actually going to try their soldering iron. I'm just going to put it on to heat up. I'm not using the stand that's come with it because I'm not going to use that iron much. But there we go. Right, so we're going to start off with what is in the box that we're going to use. We've got the printed circuit board, the battery holder, the screen, and we've also got this bag of wonders. So what I'm going to start by doing is opening this little bag up and seeing what's in there. I've got a tin off a fast food tray, so I can start by saying, right, I don't need that for now. I'm going to put that out of the way. We've got some fuses here, yeah, various buttons. So I think we're going to start off from a sensible aspect. We're going to fit the buttons, the switch first of all. So my kind of take on this is that we're going to clip these in. Now I'm hoping, I'm going to give this a try for you, that these will only go one way. Now they will only go one way, so you can't get these reversed. I'm going to do the switches all together first because they will level off the board, and I'm going to give their iron a go. It comes with some solder as well, which is kind of cool. So yeah, what I will say is it comes with a spare button, so that's great if you manage to damage one. That goes together really quite nicely. So the next thing we're going to do is solder it. I'm going to give this iron that they provided a go. Not too shabby, actually quite impressed. You compare that to a professional iron. Okay, the professional iron heats the work up a little quicker, but you know what? I'm impressed considering it's a 5-volt iron. That works well. And yes, I know I'm using my iron because it's what I'm comfortable with and it's what I use every day at work. What I will say to you when it comes to soldering these is just try not to stay on the workpiece too long, because if you get it too hot you can damage the tracks, and what you're looking for is it just starting to flow round. You see the ball disappears. Board's nice actually. It's taking the solder really well. It's been produced to a nice quality. I'm not having any issues soldering this. So from that aspect, big thumbs up. Okay, that's them soldered in. We've got a switch to put in place now. Let's probably put my soldering iron down because it's probably bad practice. Now I'm going to try with this. Okay, this thing's turned itself off after a period of time, so obviously that's some sort of protection. I've just come to pick it up. I was going to try soldering the actual the switch with it, but I'll come back to that. Now I know these ones here are going to take a bit more heat because they're part of the actual body of the switch. You're going to need to just be on them a little bit longer. The switch terminals themselves solder in really nicely. Hopefully this will warm back up again and we can see how this does. Yet even doing that, now I'm going to bring this right up here. That's what I've done with the Pro iron, that's what I've done with this iron. Nice soldering iron, you know, for something that comes with a kit that is designed to be a potentially a use once product. Very good, very good. You know, yeah, just nice. As I say, I'm just going back for this because this is what I'm comfortable with. Dumps the heat a bit quicker as well. Nice, really nice. So one assumes that goes on the back there. As I say, I don't know if there's any build videos on the website. I've not had a look. But even though there's no step-by-step with it, do you know what? There's nothing here that's not been self-explanatory. That's the soldering done with. There it is assembled. Very cool. Very cool. Get one of those little air fuses out. Try not to send it flying. I do like the little fuse holder and the fact that you have to put the fuse in yourself. It's a really nice little touch. The bit everybody enjoys. We'll take the plastic off the screen. Give it a go. Some batteries in it. Comes with the batteries. Turn the light up above us. Straight in, no problems. Very impressed. Works straight off. Obviously you can program stuff for this yourself. A little reset. You know, really cool. So we'll put this in the case. What we've got to do is remove the plastic film off all of these. Now, little fiddly, get your nail under it or a little screwdriver or something and you can pull it off. I have blue peated the rest. I've done them before coming back to the video. So what we're going to do, we're going to carry on in a moment and assemble this. I like this thing. I am quite taken by it, and I'm impressed how fast it loads up as well. Now, the next thing we're going to do with this is going to put the buttons on. So on each of these, I'll put a little black button. Okay, so, and again they've given us a spare button as well as having some spare fuses, so we'll continue with the build in a moment. Yeah, so from what I can work out, that's going to go there, that's going to go there. Now we're going to need a couple of these, I reckon, the short ones. Now when I'm looking at the bolts, there's 4 short bolts, so I reckon that because they're going just into them, we're going to have some short bolts in the top. That's going to go into there. So these tops here, I reckon, are going to be held on with the short bolts. Because if we use long ones, we wouldn't get a short in both sides. I'm not sure if something, yeah, there's something's going on to the back of them anyhow. So, right, so that's going to go into there. Now we're going to put the back on. The back has got this panel here. And this panel here, the second one being the tidy panel. I'm just going to have a quick look to see if there's any shaping on either side. There's not, so I reckon we're going to go with the medium-sized bolts here. No. So that suggests that maybe the short bolts, now there's 8 of these short bolts. There's 3 of these long bolts. Shorts, mediums, right, so these are going here. They're going to need the long bolts because they've got to go all the way through there, look. Right, this is a good starting point. So it looks like they're giving us some spares as well, so that's a spare. That's a spare. That's going to hold the battery holder on. Now the battery holder, I reckon, is going to want a couple of the short ones. Okay, so now it's just a case of working out what lengths go on these. I reckon these medium ones here. Yeah, look, it's the medium ones. There we go. And then just tighten that up. So don't tighten the front up till you've tightened the back up. Put a medium one in the back there as well. There we go. That's both of them. Again, we've got some spare bolts, and comes with a nice lanyard. And there we go, that's the build complete. Very impressed with it. The product itself, very good. The iron itself is great. I've used a actually just an off-the-shelf power adapter. This is one for a Kano. I've used it directly plugged into a USB socket on the wall. It's got a USB outlet on it, and I've tried it running off a USB battery bank. So, you know, all those things, it works. It is just a case of, unfortunately, both the adapter that was provided with it and this adapter are substandard. So I think from the manufacturer's point of view, they either need to not provide an adapter or make sure that the adapter they provide is up to par. Other than that, the product itself is awesome. The actual board, the building of it, could do with some better build instructions, but you know, I don't think it's that difficult to build. Maybe these should have some stickers on just saying 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 or something like that. That would make it a little bit more self-explanatory. But you know, no, it's brilliant. It's well presented. Would I buy a product off them again? Yes, I would. And I would hope that they may watch this video and pick up on it and sort out the little minor issues they've got, because their product that they're providing is absolutely awesome. So I'm going to zoom into this now. I'm going to reset the camera and we'll do a little video of this plane. Right, so we'll just do a little bit of playing video. Loads up really quick. We've got invaders, snake, space rocks and bonk. So we'll just go into each of them at a time. As you can see, quite cool. Bonk is sort of a Pong style game. Space rocks. This is sort of an asteroid style game. Again, really quick. Snake. Oh, too many hours on a Nokia. Okay. And settings, which you could set the sleep timer and the shutdown timer, and whether you've got audio on or off. So, you know, the product itself is really great. My understanding is you can add extra stuff to it using coding. My intention now is to hopefully connect this up to either the Kano we own or one of the computers and be able to do some coding with it. But it is brilliant.